Well, the word inaugural comes to mind.
Oh, the word came to my mind was Happy New Year, but okay, you go ahead.
Well, there's that. But this is the first episode of the show for 2023.
Oh, yeah, that works too. Yeah, I like that.
Pete's not even here, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sucks to be him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fired. He just doesn't know it yet. But that's
well, I don't want his job. You better hire someone else.
Which makes it 20, because we started the show in 2019. So 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. This is the fifth calendar year of the podcast. That's bizarre to me. Anyways, I mean, you just started like 5 months ago, so you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but
I still haven't started. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's something else that I'm needing to bring up, but that's fine. So, hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
Yes, I'm Carl,
and I'm Brady. What? And I'm Brady.
Yeah, we just throw wrenches in that every week.
Yeah, you're supposed to say the B team. That's what messed everything up. I was like, wait, normally we go back and forth, but then how did the order get... Is this foreshadowing for the year to come? Mix
it up. Keep the audience on their toes.
This is foreshadowing for the year to come. I can tell already. It's gonna be a year, isn't it?
A year full of news.
Yeah, so we took a week off from the news, and as such, yeah. Well, we skipped a week. No, we skipped a week.
Oh, it only added up to being 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll trust you.
There's your holidays.
I don't listen to them, so I don't know.
No. So we skipped a week, which means there's some news to talk about. Not a whole lot typically happens over the holidays. So it's not like we have a packed show. But we got some topics, so we're going to work through them and yeah, just get you caught up to date on all of the things that are happening in the world of movies, and give our opinions on them and talk about them and yeah, give you all the things you never asked for, which is mostly our opinions. So straight off the top, there's something I want to talk about that I sent to you, you commented on, I commented on, and it's just worth talking about. So we've talked a lot about DC. We've talked a lot about James Gunn. We've talked a lot about the Henry Cavill thing. We've talked about all kinds of stuff, right, in terms of James Gunn and Peter Safran, the heads of the new DC studios.
Lots of news going around there.
Yeah, as such, they have basically hit the hard reset button.
Yeah, they've got a dumpster fire and they're throwing all the paperwork inside.
They're getting it all out, the good, the bad, the whatever, because there needs to be a fresh start, and a fresh start means a fresh start. It doesn't mean this kind of buffet style picking and choosing. We'll keep that, we'll leave that, we'll get rid of that. We'll keep it's for better or worse. It's all got to go.
Yeah, which makes for good news and lots of rumors.
Yeah. So speaking of rumors, a little while back, about a week and a half ago, there were rumors and reports going around that DC was considering firing James Gunn for someone, quote, more competent. And the basis of this report was that as stupid basement-dwelling dumbass fans tend to do, some petitions had started going around, fire James Gunn, bring Henry Cavill back.
You don't like a decision. You're entitled to your opinion, as we do often in this show.
Yeah, but it's the dummies that think that these petitions are actually going to
have traction,
achieve something.
I mean, I agree. They're not really going to have any lasting effect in the decisions that these companies make. But in the last, what was it, 4 years ago, we did see kind of that kind of fan outcry have traction in the way of the Sonic movie. So,
Sonic movie, the
masses, the screaming masses do have a voice.
Well, so here's the reason, though, that this isn't going to go anywhere. Aside from the fact that DC, it has full confidence in James Gunn, and just like every outcrying we've ever had anytime someone in Hollywood makes a decision, I point to things like Heath Ledger being cast as Joker.
Every reboot of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Michael Keaton being cast as Batman.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the list just goes on and on. Hugh Jackman being cast as Wolverine.
Yeah.
The Australian musical stage guy.
Yeah.
That he's too tall. He doesn't have the look. Now it's hard to picture anyone other than Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine.
Nerds, we have nerds and geeks. They're really, really passionate about the media that they consume, and they're not afraid to say if they think it's silly.
Yeah, but here's the thing: DC is not structured the same way Marvel is. So if we take a look at Marvel and the Marvel equivalent of James Gunn, which is Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige, since Bob Chapek took over, so it used to, back in the day, it used to be that Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, was the man at the top. And then as far as Marvel went, directly under Bob Iger was Kevin Feige. Now, they both answered to a board, but Bob Iger was also chairman of the board, so really Bob Iger answered to nobody. And then Kevin Feige was right below, and Kevin Feige had full reign, full power. He could basically do whatever he wanted. Then Bob Chapek came in and started hiring old, like, college buddies of his and putting them in high-paid positions, and all of these, like, levels of management got introduced, where now between Kevin Feige and the top dog, there's like 3 or 4 levels of separation there. Which we've talked about how that's caused all kinds of issues. Kevin Feige doesn't even have say anymore over where and how his properties get released, whether a movie that he makes is going to go to theaters or it's going to go to Disney Plus, or he's lost a lot of control. And hopefully, now that Bob Iger is back, Iger will get in there and start ripping out some of those layers of unnecessary micromanaging. But now let's look at DC. James Gunn answers to Peter Zaslav, who is the CEO of Warner Brothers, and that's it. So the thing is aside from Peter Zaslav, who personally hand-selected James Gunn, believes in James Gunn, and is excited for the direction and supportive of the direction that James Gunn is going in, there isn't actually any, like, James Gunn doesn't answer to anyone over at DC. So when reports start going around that James Gunn is potentially going to get fired, or Warner Brothers is considering firing James Gunn, it's really, really important to understand that Warner Brothers can't fire James Gunn. Like, they're, aside from the really top dog. Sorry?
It would be really hard to.
Yeah, essentially. Because everyone else at Warner Brothers or at DC is under James Gunn. So it'd kind of be like, you know, you going to work and being like, I don't like my manager, I'm going to fire him. Rumors are we're going to fire our manager. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, as much as you'd like to, that manager answers to the owner of the company, and that's it. And if the owner of the company really likes that manager, then you're SOL. So either way, it's important to note these reports are rubbish. It's garbage. Yeah. DC has no intentions. Well, DC can't fire James Gunn. Warner Brothers, as a company, can't fire James Gunn. Peter Zaslav could, but he's got no interest in doing that. So quit whining. Stop whining on the internet. We get it. You're not happy with it. You're saying that you're going to boycott the movie. You're going to be just like other idiotic, toxic fanboy, and you're going to go see the movie anyways, even though you've said, I'm never going to see this movie. Superman's dead to me.
That right there is the big thing, right? Like, okay, you don't like that they're rebooting again. Fine. Fair. But you're going to get more of the content you love. And there is very strong, I would say there's a very strong chance that content is going to be very close to source material, which, like James Gunn track record with Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, nobody was really big on Guardians of the Galaxy in the first place. You know, you're going to have a handful of people who were, but for the most part, like the origins of all those characters, like, and the way they're portrayed is pretty close to, like, acceptably close to the source material. Yeah. Like you get a bit of changes in Star-Lord's origin, right? Because he wasn't Ego's son, but you know, he does have a sort of supernatural birth in the comics. He has a supernatural kind of birth in the movie. So it's close enough that most people are going to say, yeah, that's cool. And I think James Gunn, I feel is earned some trust and should be given a chance. So if you're up in arms, just relax until you see the first wave of DC movies.
Yeah. Something I've said to Pete several times is when it comes to arguments between fans, right? Fans who are on different sides of whether it's a casting or whether it's, I think that came up when Pete and I were originally talking about Robert Pattinson as Batman. Because when Robert Pattinson was cast as Batman, there was a huge outcry on the internet, right? Everyone was like, oh, Twilight Boy, sparkly Batman.
Yeah, it was like, one of those.
You know, everyone was really bent out of shape. And I was all for it. I was excited. I'd seen the Twilight movies once upon a time, but I'd also seen a lot of Robert Pattinson's work since then. These sort of like small budget, indie, real character films that Robert Pattinson had done. And I said to Pete, listen, Robert Pattinson is an Oscar-level actor. He doesn't have an Oscar yet, but Robert Pattinson is a fantastic actor. And when you're casting a movie, it's never, ever, ever a bad thing to add talent, right? That's what it comes down to. Not who looks the part, not who's the right height, not who is a big comic book fan. It's talent. A good actor is a good actor.
The only argument I would give you on your points, I agree with everything except for familiarity with the work. The more familiar you are with the work, the better you can portray the character, the better you understand a character.
But you can become familiar with the work after you, like, Elijah Wood had never read Lord of the Rings. Right? Elijah Wood had never read Lord of the Rings. He started reading them on set. As once he was cast, he was like, oh, shoot, I better learn the source material. But you don't need to be a lifelong fan of something. But either way, so I said to him, whenever there's these fights, these battles, And the side that's against it says, oh, I'm boycotting this. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not even going to watch it. Then instantly, okay, you lose. You lose. Because if the whole point of movies is to get movies that we like and be entertained, then automatically the person who is excited or at least willing to go see it and give it a chance, that person wins. Because the person who says, that's it, I'm boycotting it, I'm not going to do it, what does that person want? That person is one, I don't get a new Batman movie because I'm not going to go see it.
Christmas.
Because I'm stupid. You know? And so, yeah, either way. It's not going to happen. Calm yourself. Moving on. Ant-Man 3 is legitimately right around the corner. Like, we're in the weeks now instead of the months. When talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And the director has come out and said, and you got to take this with a grain of salt, but the director has come out and said that Ant-Man 3 is an Avengers-level movie. Now, newsflash, director says, my movie's really good. Right, it's
what
right
he's
up
actually
there with,
saying is this.
It's right up there with all the time you'll see these news outlets run with so and so says they would like to play an MCU character.
Well, directors just saying my movie's amazing, or actors saying we really did something different. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Yeah, It bodes well for the actor or the director to push their own film. But even that example of an actor says, oh, I'd really love to play an MCU character. And everyone gets crazy. Everyone goes, oh, so-and-so is going to be in the MCU. They really want to be in the MCU. Who could they play? I'm sorry. Actor wants work. Yeah. Is what water is wet. Like, not even that. Like, actor wants long-term career work in
the world's largest franchise, in one of the highest paying film gigs you can get into,
guaranteed money for the next X number of years to be in this franchise. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. So having laid out that that this needs to be taken with a grain of salt, we have looked at the trailers though, and this is. If you look at the trailer, it doesn't feel like the other Ant-Man movies. Like Ant-Man 1 and 2 are connected to the rest of the MCU, but they sort of have like this small, isolated, kind of kept to themselves sort of feel.
And they have that kind of, this is a heist movie flavor.
Right.
Which no other MCU movie does.
Yeah. Whereas with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, we already know from the trailer we're getting the proper introduction, the real debut of Kang.
Yeah.
And
Kang the Conqueror. Kang.
Yes.
Because the Kang we met in Loki, I don't think he even refers to himself as Kang at any point. He's just the man at the end of time.
Yeah. So we're getting that. We're getting a lot of Quantum Realm stuff. We're getting it's I believe, because we know that in the pipeline we have Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. I think this is a film that is like, not only is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania going to be a film that really sets up what's coming and sort of turns the page on the MCU, I think it's also going to be a film that takes all of our, maybe not all of, a lot of our confusion that we've had, excuse me, with the MCU storyline over the last 3 years, where we've said, well, where is this going? What is the connective tissue that ties all this together?
Yeah, pretty much everything post Endgame has been kind of
pretty much everything post Endgame
is going on.
Where's
the one seamless storyline heading?
I think a lot of connective tissue is going to come out of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think that movie is going to clear up maybe not all of the confusion.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to add it's going to add a piece of glass into the lens, which is going to pull a lot of things into focus.
Yeah.
Anyways, Carl, you hear this, that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to be supposedly a self-proclaimed Avengers level film.
Yeah, I think that might be pushing it. Because when somebody says this is like an Avengers level film and it's an Ant-Man film, my thought is, okay, so it's going to be like Captain America Civil War, where you've got like all the Avengers from that we've had up to this point on screen pretty much for the most part, maybe minus a couple, Thor and Hulk as for the example there.
Which Civil War was basically just Avengers 2.5. Let's be honest.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I can't see it being an Avengers level film, but like you were just saying, like tying in connective tissue, making some of these loose hanging threads that don't seem to be going anywhere except for their own individual characters storylines, right? We got Spider-Man, we got Doctor Strange, we got Hawkeye, we got all these characters, and what are we in right now? Phase 5?
We just finished Black Man Wakanda Forever was the end of Phase 4. So
right.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania will be the
everything in Phase 4.
5.
Everything in Phase 4 pretty much has a loose end. None of them tie together. I don't think there's anything the only two that tie together would be Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Well, and if we're counting shows, which you have to because those are part of it, then WandaVision also ties into that.
Yeah, ties into Doctor Strange. But for the most part, all these new properties and all these kind of returning properties that we got in this last phase have loose ends, including Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So,
sure.
It's the question. The big question is, where is the MCU going post Thanos, post Endgame? Like Kang the Conqueror seems to be the big bad guy, but then you watch the Eternals and it looks like these big space gods are the big bad guys. And like, who really is the Thanos of this next story arc that's tying all these characters, that's going to bring everybody together? It's going to need everybody on the same team, on the same screen to defeat. And yeah, it seems like we're not getting it. But like you're saying, Ant-Man has that potential because, Kang, it seems like Kang is that storyline. And yeah, it has that opportunity to tie some of those loose ends together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm
optimistic.
Yeah. I'm optimistic about the MCU. My thought is, we've for like 3 years now, we've been crapping on it, more or less. There's been a couple amazing diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, it's been.
But we've been crapping on
up
it.
and down, hit and miss this last phase for sure.
And as you pointed out, it seems like it's just been this big party of like, well, let's not build towards a main story. Let's just develop our like individual little story arcs. And honestly, for like 3 years now, that's also rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm kind of wondering, like, it reaches a point after a while when everything is tied in together and there's these big, massive, constant global threats where you just you get a little fatigued from that and you go, maybe some of this has lost its heart because now instead of really delving into characters, we're just, anytime someone new is introduced, it's just kind of like, okay, they're sort of like tacked into this bigger ensemble thing. Whereas if we go back to like the beginning of the MCU, each character had their own, like, yes, Tony's tied into what's going on with the Infinity Stones and everything else, but he's also got his own, like he's dealing
on his
with
own adventure and story arc through.
He's dealing with his lineage and how his technology constantly seems to be the bane of his existence now because it's falling into the wrong hands, and Thor had his own stuff with his parents and his brother being adopted, and none of that had anything to do with the greater story or fueling other people's timelines.
Yeah.
And so
not as a whole. There were some connective tissues, which I don't feel like we got a lot of in this last phase, but you're not wrong.
So I'm optimistic that we will look back on phase 4. Going through phase 4, it was a little bumpy. We weren't always super clear of the roadmap and what was going on. But I think we'll look back on phase 4 and go, actually, that we're enjoying phase 5 more because we slowed down and we took the time to really understand what is going on individually in each of these different characters' storylines. Because that's the other thing too, is like back even as far as like halfway through phase 2, we didn't there was something bubbling under the surface. We could tell that this must be building towards something. Yeah. But we weren't we didn't really know what it was. We didn't know how it was going to go down, and we weren't up in arms about it. I think we as MCU fans have been conditioned and therefore become a little spoiled and are like, well, no, this is the big amazing thing that you did, how you culminated it all in Infinity War and Endgame. And so show us your hand. Show us this big, amazing thing that you're doing. And Kevin Feige in the MCU is like, no, F you. F you. I have a plan.
We're in the middle of a poker game. We're not showing you what we're getting. We raise.
Yeah. And so I'm optimistic that we'll look back on phase 4 and go, we'll look back on it with more appreciation than we had while we were going through it.
Probably. Yeah.
I hope so.
That's the hope. That's the hope.
Yeah. All right, moving on. James Cameron's kind of a big name in Hollywood right now. I don't know if you know, he just released a little project of his that I guess he'd been working on for a while or something. It's like a follow-up to another little indie film that he did a while back.
Oh, Dances with Wolves.
No. Oh. Similar. I think it's
Terminator.
Dancing with Smurfs? Or it's something about blue people. I don't know. Anyways, one of the other things that James Cameron is well known for, as you just attributed to, is the Terminator franchise. The first Terminator movie, pretty great.
Excellent.
Pretty great. Pretty groundbreaking as far as technology and special effects makeup and stuff like that. Terminator 2.
Breakout role for Arnie.
Yeah. Terminator 2, untouchable. Just a absolute gem. A film that makes
delicious to watch.
A film that pulls off the impossible task of making Terminator 1 kind of go, Terminator 1. But Terminator 2, T2 Judgment Day, good Lord. Well, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
And this is like, I actually watched a YouTube video on a channel that I frequently watch, and they were kind of getting into like, it's really hard. Like every time they make a new Terminator movie, they have all these kind of, you create paradoxes because of the time travel. Well, why didn't they just send more Terminators? Why didn't they just do that? Like, you know what I mean?
It's not as well thought out as Back to the Future was.
It just becomes, well, the whole thing just becomes, confusing and raises too many questions. And they're all pretty bad definitely after 3. 3 is I would say is passable, but it
so
still
three,
starts to create a lot of those paradox problems.
3 not being directed by James Cameron, but still produced by James Cameron.
It was okay.
Is okay. It's the action's fun. They didn't take the story the place that everyone was thinking they were going to take the story, but that was okay. It kind of felt a little tacked on because it was like, wait a second, didn't we? Like, T2 kind of felt like a definitive ending. Like we stopped it. We stopped Judgment Day.
I would say the last passable Terminator movie we got was the one with his name just slipped my mind. Batman.
Okay, yeah. So that one's next. Hang on, we're working through them.
Oh, you want to work through them? Okay.
So then, Terminator Salvation, which is the one with Christian Bale that
that's the name.
Referring to.
Last passable one, I would say, and it's because it doesn't deal with the present; it deals with the future.
Yeah, the future. It's a very different style of Terminator film. I didn't enjoy it because it wasn't really. Like, it was just, they tried to do something different, and for some people that worked. For me, it didn't. It's fine. But still kind of like, you could, up until that point, you could still sort of buy into some semblance of continuity. You're like, okay, there's a couple of holes here and there, a couple of logic issues. However,
more paradoxes created.
Yeah, but you're like, however, nothing right out contradicts itself, so that like it's still, I can still kind of build a reasonable timeline in my head. And then we had Terminator Genesis, which talked about it's the return of Arnold. Arnold's going to be in it, sort of, kind of, and so that's exciting. And hip hip hooray! And then like John Connor becomes a Terminator himself, and we were all sitting there scratching our heads like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then
just bad.
Terminator Dark Fate came out, which was like
more
James
problems.
Cameron going in as an executive producer, still not the director, but an executive producer. And he was like, look, I'm bringing Sarah Connor back. Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. I'm bringing back Arnold as the T-800.
Making some good decisions.
We're ignoring Terminator 3. We're ignoring Terminator Salvation. We're ignoring Terminator Genesis. This is a sequel to T2 Judgment Day. And the fans rejoiced. And then they watched it. And 45 seconds in, the main protagonist of our film is killed. And we find out that it's not even like, oh, yeah, John went on to be like a young adult and he did all this. No, like, literally.
He did.
3 days after Terminator 2, they were hanging out buying burritos at some roadside, and John was killed. So, all this being said, James Cameron has alluded to the fact that there may be more Terminator films on the way. I don't say this very often. I'm typically of the opinion that movies are fun. Make more movies. Like, just make more, start fresh, do it over, do a remake, do a reboot, whatever. If it's good, then great. We get another great film that we can love and enjoy and add to our collection. If it's garbage, then whatever. Don't ever watch it again. Having said that, I think it's done. I think,
at least,
and like I said, I don't say this very often.
For a couple decades.
Just hang it up. Hang it up. Unless
it can't be fixed.
At this point, unless James Cameron's going to come back, which we know he's not because he's far too busy doing everything else in the world. Unless James Cameron's going to come back to direct it and just start entirely fresh, just a reboot. Don't tie it into any other storyline. You're gonna hate this, but at this, like, if you are rebooting it, it has to be like, it's just like the DC situation. It has to be said. You got to do it without Arnold at this point. You can't reboot and then put old man Arnold in.
Get another big hunky man in there.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton's gone. You know, you could put John Cena. I'm not a big John Cena fan, but like put John Cena in there, put Dave Bautista in there, find some ridiculously jacked human being and plop him in the role and take the story somewhere else. That's the only way I can really see myself getting remotely excited about a new Terminator film at this point. At this point, you know, they release a trailer for a new Terminator film and it's like releasing a trailer for the next Transformers movie. I'm like, oh my God, you're still doing this? Yeah. This is still happening?
I can't. I don't know. I'm done with... I haven't seen the last two Terminators. I love the Terminator franchise up to a certain movie, and then I'm just done. I'm out. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen Dark Fate. I'm not interested in seeing Dark Fate.
It's worth watching.
As far as a reboot goes, I've made my opinion known on this channel about reboots. I'm not like... Make a robot movie and call it something else and don't say it's a reboot of Terminator. You're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's rough. So either way, you don't want more Terminator movies either. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible they can't reboot it and it be amazing. I'm saying you're setting yourself up for criticism that you don't have to necessarily put on your film. Yeah, as far as moving forward with this specific timeline, if that's what you can call it now, it's over. It's way too convoluted and way too messy, and there's no fixing it. You're just going to make more of a mess of it. You and I sat down and we reviewed Black Adam. Yeah. And it was pretty good. We both agreed that maybe The Rock had sort of overhyped, had put a little too much fuel in the hype machine. Yeah, definitely. If he learned to use doors, I think it would have been better. Yeah. But it was fun, and it was fun. It was a entertaining film. Yeah. And we were both interested. We started speculating. There was all this stuff about like, okay, Superman shows up in the post-credit scene, and so there's at some point there's going to be a Black Adam Superman face-off, and how is this going to tie into the established Shazam series? And stuff like that. Well, let me remind you that things have been shaken up over at DC. Mm-hmm. And The Rock has come out and he has said that Black Adam 2 is dead. It's not going to happen. Makes sense. And that there is the possibility of Black Adam showing up in the DC's multiverse at some point. My thoughts on this are two things. One is, it makes total sense. Everything else is getting axed. This has got to get axed. Like it just kind of, it is what it is. My second thought is, I really, with everything, with the fact that it's what the MCU is doing right now, I hope we are at least 10 years out from any sort of DC multiverse stuff. Oh, yeah. Like, for sure. We're just going to get multiverse fatigue. Yeah. I don't see The Rock returning as Shazam. By the time another Black Adam. By the time another Black Adam hits the screen, he's going to be too old for the role, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he'll still be big enough physically. Well, I mean, Arnold's still jacked, but I wouldn't want him to be Terminator again. Like, the last time I seen him in a Terminator movie, he looked like an old beat up Terminator.
Wow, he was. That was the role he was playing.
I didn't see Dark Fate.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I seen previews for it, but like, yeah, it's a very unconvincing Terminator.
Yeah, I would still not want to end up in an alley at night with Arnold. Are
you kidding me? He's probably a really nice guy. I'd love that.
Yeah, I feel like you could easily offend him, though.
I don't know. Do you not like cigars? Is that?
Oh, I love cigars, but my thought is
get
that
along with them fine.
Maybe I would cut the cigar wrong, or maybe I would. He really loves cigars. So, have you heard of a company called Sony?
So who?
Wait, maybe I pronounced it right. No, yeah. So Sony.
Sanyo?
So no, that's different. Sony. Sony. SONY.
Is it a sewing company? So
it might be. I don't know. Often these companies have like really weird origins. You find out that like, this my favorite brand of toothbrush started out making sex toys back in the 1300s, and then that didn't sell, and hence the birth of the electric toothbrush. No, I don't know. Sony has come out and said that the next live-action Spider-Man movie is in the works. And people are probably going, wait, what? Sony? It's big, it's complicated, we're not going to get into all of it, but yes, even though Spider-Man appears in the MCU, he is still the MCU sort of has him on lease. He's still owned by Sony.
Borrowing him.
Yes, all three Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, the Spider-Man movies that are set in the MCU, were distributed by Sony, not by Marvel. It's just the way it works. It's a business deal that is pretty much unprecedented in the history of Hollywood, but it's a business deal that's making both sides a shit ton of money and has been super advantageous for both sides. So it's something that has continued on. Now, we don't have any details. We don't know if this next Spider-Man movie is going to be set still in the MCU. We don't know if it's Tom Holland. We don't know if it's someone new altogether. We don't know if I'm getting my wish list item and it's The Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. Oh my God, I wish that's what it was. But it doesn't surprise, like, obviously they're going to keep making Spider-Man movies, regardless of who it is or what it is or when it is. It's Spider-Man. You don't have Spider-Man sitting on your shelf as a company and go, yeah, we'll get around to it. It's Spider-Man. He's one of your biggest IPs. So you hear this though, and what are your thoughts? Do you think it's going to be an MCU installment? Do you want it to be an MCU installment? I mean, the ending of No Way Home definitely kind of felt like it was setting something up. It was showing us, okay, here's the new Spider-Man. But at the same time, it could have just been like you could end it that way, and it would be a very satisfying ending. Like, and then Spider-Man went off and did his Spider-Man things. Do you think it'll be a standalone thing, like set in sort of this like Craven Venom verse, Morbius, whatever the heck that was verse that Sony's building? What do you want it to be?
Well, yeah, it can only go. I think they can only do. There is only one of two options for them. They continue with Tom Holland as Spider-Man connected to the MCU, which is a license to print money because, it's worked so far and it's connected to the MCU. Or they take a chance and they get a new actor in for Spider-Man, and they create a Spider-Man for their Venom verse, which, it's going to be a license to print money, but at the same time, I think there's a bit more risk there because you're almost starting fresh. And, Morbius did extremely poorly. Craven, man, I don't know. I feel like Craven's going to be another Morbius. That's my gut. That's what my gut.
Oh, I'm
tells
looking
me.
for Aaron Taylor Johnson. I am looking forward to this movie.
I don't know, man. You look at the cast in Morbius. That they had all the markings of a great film, and
That's true.
So, yeah,
that's true.
My hope would be that it's a continuation with Tom Holland and the MCU. I think that's their safest option in terms of making their money back.
Do you think
either way, Sony is not going to give up their Spider-Man rights. So it's going to
ever.
That's the one thing that they're going to hang on to for dear life.
Do you think that because a day will come when the partnership between Marvel and Sony ends? Maybe not necessarily on bad terms, but it will end. It almost already ended. We almost didn't get No Way Home.
Yeah.
When that happens, when Spider-Man goes back and lives in the Sonyverse, and Sony doesn't have to share any profits, they don't have to, blah, blah, blah. Do you think is there a possibility that Spider-Man will remain to be Tom Holland? Because my thought for a theory of mine for the longest time, and I talked about it on the show, I talked to Pete about it, and I was feeling pretty good about this theory, was that No Way Home was going to be the last Spider-Man MCU film, and that Tom Holland would remain being Spider-Man over at Sony because we were talking about a film that was like different Spider-Man universes opening up and people coming and going and all of this stuff. And I thought that, especially with the title, No Way Home, my theory was that Tom Holland was going to end up getting, maybe in the third act of the film, end up going through some sort of
a different dimension
portal, and he would be in the Venom verse and the, whatever else. And there would be no way home, and that's just where he would live now, because there is obviously the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield universe are canon with the MCU now as alternate universes, but so is the Sony one, because we did have Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock come through.
They're technically part of the multiverse. Yeah,
he didn't stay long, but he did leave behind a little chunk of symbiote, which I guess also just leads credence to the fact that the next film is probably going to be in the MCU, because why leave symbiote there? Why set that up and then not do anything with it?
Yeah, it's a good theory. Man, there's so many ways they could go with it. It's a large. We're talking about like large corporations trying to play nice with each other that have competing properties, essentially.
Yeah,
but at the same time, there are properties that work really well together, and so far that partnership has been mutually beneficial.
At the end of the day, they are competitors.
Than to like Sony's gotten more out of this deal, I think, than Marvel has.
Oh, for sure. You're a company who has historically done Spider-Man well, but has had some major flops. The last Spider-Man film that they did before this agreement was not super well received in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. which wasn't a horrible film if you take out Jamie Foxx's portrayal of Electro.
Yeah. Well, like,
which they rectified.
I think The Amazing Spider-Man as a whole probably wasn't as well received as Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi's. They're still good, not as well received, but like, yeah, Marvel brought a lot of, like, all the fandom that Marvel had created is now part of Sony's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, hard to say.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Like, either way, a new Spider-Man movie, I'm gonna go see it.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Take my
Fingers
money.
crossed that they don't mess it up.
Yep. Netflix. Do you have it?
Yep. Yeah, I have a subscription.
Unfortunately, is that where you were going?
Well, yeah. If are we getting into the new password stuff, or is that something else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, question. So you have Netflix.
Yeah.
Is it your own Netflix?
It is. You pay for but I do have somebody who I share it with.
Oh, you have a Netflix sponge, do you?
I do.
You got a freeloader.
It's not a sponge. I would not call it a sponge relationship. I would call it a symbiotic relationship because I get an Amazon Prime account access out of it. So there's a symbiosis there.
It's down between one and two people, but I'm pretty sure I could figure it out. If I had 3 guesses, I could definitely figure out who it is. Anyways, for years and years and years and years and years now, Netflix has been saying, please stop sharing passwords.
Well,
please stop.
Early on in Netflix's streaming, they were very open to it, though.
They were
fine with it.
I don't think they were excited about it. I think they knew that they didn't have the technology to do anything about it. And so you might as well be okay with it. Because at the end of the day, it is stealing. At the end of the day, a company like Netflix, who is providing a service that is not a free service for them to provide. Like, they're making content, they're buying the rights to be able to stream content. They're saying, hey, we're providing content, we're providing a service, and all we ask in return is that you pay for that service. Right. Which is how every other business transaction in the world works. We give you something of value to you, and you give up something of value to you in return, which is 99.9% of the time money. As soon as I borrow someone's Netflix password, I'm now getting that service and not paying for it, which I'm not condoning people who do that, because I'm certainly not innocent of this either. I have access to several different subscriptions, video streaming subscriptions, and I pay for some of them. But some of them, when I log on to and I'm sitting there looking at the profiles, not all of those profiles are mine. Some of them belong to the account owner.
Right.
Well, Netflix has now, there's been a lot of changes to Netflix. Netflix came out with that absolute bullshit, archaic, dumb, how could you even think that this was acceptable ad-supported tier? And I'm not saying that because there's ads. I'm not even saying that because it's not the full library. I'm saying that because there's a max resolution of 720p. What do you do? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. The other thing that Netflix is doing, starting this year, this calendar year, any day now, maybe it already has, I don't know, is they are stopping password sharing. Now, they're doing this by, I guess, tracing the IP address of...
I don't understand it.
Where you are, which I don't know how a VPN
I'm sure a VPN
would affect
can
that.
Work you around it.
I don't know. But basically what's going to happen is if the account owner lives in, Wichita, Kansas, and the person who they're sharing their account with lives in Florida, and they log on, it's going to come up and say, hey, you can't have access to this. And in some cases, it looks like they'll even just shut down your account,
right,
for password sharing. Now, this has raised a bunch of questions because, I'm thinking, well, there's times like I live here in Toronto and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different devices, 4 for sure, different devices that at any given point I might want to access my Netflix account on. So how does that work? How does that work? Well, and then that's the thing too, is sometimes I might come over to your house, which is 2.5 hours away, and maybe you don't have a Netflix account. And I go, well, that's fine. We can sign into mine. I'm paying for Netflix. It's a service that is I will sign into your Xbox. I'll sign into your smart TV.
Yeah.
Which you don't have because you're living in the Stone Age, and that's, whatever. But we'll sign in. And it's my account, and that's fine, but it's definitely a different IP address. It's definitely a different location. But
could be even a different device.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to do that.
Yeah.
It could be one of those, like, if it's a device that it doesn't recognize, or it's a device that's not like your home device or something, then it could be one of those, like, we're going to email you or text you a code type thing that you have to put in. I don't know.
In which case, you're not really stopping anything. Like the person so we'll use my example or even your example, right? Like I'm sharing, let's say we're sharing an account. It's your account. You're down in Toronto.
We would never do that.
I'm up here in Hanover.
I don't want to see your watch history.
And you see, they activate this thing, and it's something like, hey, they send you an email. Hey, you just signed into a device that's not recognized. Is this you? And you just send me you recognize the addresses. Oh, yeah, that's Carl. Yes, that's my device. They didn't stop anything.
No, but
now all of a sudden that device is yeah, I don't know.
But it might not be like a one-time thing. It might be every time you try to access Netflix on that device that's, at which case, if I'm, as I often am booting up Netflix at 2:30 in the morning, I'm SOL. Because I can't text you. I'm going to call you at 2:30 in the morning and be like, you're about to get a text from Netflix. Can you send me the code? Like, our friendship's going to end pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
In that situation. But here's the thing. Netflix is not just being like, Netflix is being a better sport about this than they even need to be. Because what Netflix has done is they're not saying, hey, look, we know that lots of you are sharing passwords and we would like you to stop. So we're implementing this technology in which you can no longer share passwords, and everyone who wants to access Netflix just needs to get your own darn account. They're not doing that. What they're doing is they're saying, hey, look, we're not going to let you share passwords for free anymore because we're losing. I was looking at the numbers. I think because of password sharing, it's upwards of $1 billion a year that Netflix is out. Which is not like, no one can look at Netflix and be like, oh, come on, just, no. If you're sitting there, you're the financial guy at Netflix and you're going, hey, man, there's this password sharing thing happening. We're out $1 billion a year. Something's got to be done. You got to do something about that. You can't ignore that number.
Yeah.
So what Netflix is saying is, look, Carl.
Yeah, they're accountable to shareholders. They need
look, Carl, we're charging you this a month for Netflix. And we know that your friend Aaron Mader is a sponge. He's a freeloader. He's a deadbeat.
What a dink.
He's a dink. We don't want to totally be the bad guys here. So what we're asking is that you add Aaron to your account for $3.99 a month. For $4 a month, your friend Aaron can have the same quality, the same library, the same everything else that you're paying for $4 a month. So just ask your friend to send you $4 a month, and he can keep using your... Honestly, this is anyone who has been... I get it. It's a good feeling when you get something for free that you're not supposed to get for free. But we've been doing it long enough. And so anyone at this point who is getting free access to Netflix and is butthurt or upset or unwilling to pay $3.99 a month to continue using your friend's Netflix, you're an idiot. And you don't deserve, you don't deserve Netflix.
In my situation, where I've got this nice symbiotic relationship, I'm not paying anything for Amazon. Well, $3 more to Netflix so that I can keep having Amazon.
Yeah, now you just basically have a $4 a month Amazon subscription. Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to hit on this, but I'm going to dive into it. Also, Netflix, if in your scenario, if Aaron doesn't want to pay me $4, he just wants his own account now, he can take his account that he's been using for free on my Netflix and export it to his own Netflix account that he signs up for.
Yeah, he's not going to lose his lists. He's not going to lose his recommendations.
All
he's
that
not going to lose
algorithm
any
he's
of that.
built up. Yeah, it goes wherever he wants it to.
Yeah. So, yes, Netflix is stopping password sharing. No, they're not being assholes. They're doing what makes sense. They're asking you to pay for the service that you are supposed to be paying for. And they're looking at all of you who have been stealing their service and saying, we're going to throw you a wicked discount. We're going to charge you $4 a month.
Yeah.
And you can
my big question is,
freeloading.
how long will that last?
The price will go
$4
up.
a month doesn't you mentioned earlier that they're losing millions of dollars every year.
It doesn't cover those losses. No.
$4. All of these accounts just add $4 more. That's not a stopgap. That you're still losing lots of money.
No. And
so
it'll be just like anything else. Like when Disney Plus launched, Disney Plus was what, like $7? Like it was ludicrous.
Yeah. Well,
and
Netflix.
We knew
when
that
Netflix
wasn't
launched, it was only like $7.10.
$7.10.
Now
it's like
$20.
It's like $20. So, and we knew that those prices would go up. That these are, you launch something.
No.
Well, then you're stupid.
They're gouging me.
We launch, honestly, though, and see, here's the thing, too. Everyone gets bent out of shape, butt hurt about the fact that Netflix is now $20 a month. If you compare the sheer amount of content that you could get on Netflix. Now, I'm not talking about all these other streaming services, right? People are like, well, I have to have this, and I have to have this, and I have to have this, and now it's more than cable. Okay, but nobody said you had to, those are services, you're wanting to get all that.
Yeah.
If you look solely at Netflix, and you compare the ease, access, and the unfathomable size of their library, for $20 a month, it's still an incredible value. It's a lot more than you were paying before. Sure.
I have a friend that has a back catalog on their on hard drives of old classic 80s, 90s TV shows stuff. Some I might be interested in, some I'm not. And they're always offering me, hey, I'll bring over the hard drive. I'll give you my access to my Apple account. You can check out all this stuff I've been collecting anytime you want. I'm just like, thanks for the offer. That's really generous. But I got way too much to watch already between Netflix and Disney. I don't need another thing to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I don't need another reason to spend more time in front of the TV.
So, bottom line is Netflix, a full service to Netflix still a great value.
Yeah.
Netflix taking away password sharing, not a dick move. It's, an argument could be made that you stealing Netflix for the last 8 years is kind of a dick move.
Yeah. Like the only argument against Netflix is like, well, but if I own a DVD, then I can let my friend borrow the DVD. That's a product, not a service. You can't borrow your neighbor's cable.
Yeah. I can hand you a disc of a physical disc of an Xbox game that I own.
Yeah.
I can't let you borrow my Game Pass.
Yeah, or your Xbox Live for that matter.
Right. Now, the only thing and I don't want to get into this because it's a total tangent and a digression. I don't know if digression is even the right. It would be me digressing. I should be able to lend you a digital game, but because I've paid for it and it's my product, and I just don't have a disc. But that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. Blah blah blah. But so either way, get over it. Start paying for your Netflix, even if it only means paying $4 a month. It's $4 a month. It's $4 a month.
Yeah.
If you're
sharing, you're getting a deal.
Here's the deal.
Especially if you're sharing and getting something else being shared back to you.
If you can't afford $4 a month, then you can't afford Netflix. It's just then you don't get Netflix, right? Or I'm sure if Netflix is that important to you, there is $4 a month that you're spending probably elsewhere unnecessarily that you could now spend on Netflix if Netflix is that do or die for you.
Just don't cancel your Netflix, your Movie Man Patreon subscription.
No, that's a
lifesaver. You got to keep that.
Yeah. Otherwise, Carl comes to your home and he pees in the tank of your toilet. That way, the next time you flush it, it's all yellow and full of urine. That's something we need you to start doing. We haven't talked to you about yet, but if we'll send you a list of, like, addresses and stuff like that.
Oh,
if you
okay.
Could, yeah. Some of it's going to probably involve airfare, but
as long as you pay
covered.
For it,
no, it's not covered.
I'll go anywhere.
Final topic. And it's a doozy.
More?
It's a doozy.
It's a big one?
It's a big one.
Give it a big one. It's a big one.
A while ago, a movie came out that I was very interested in, and it was every so often, there's one of those movies you're like, this looks really good. I can't wait to see it. And then like a couple years pass, and then you finally get around. And you're like, why? Why did it take me so long to sit down and watch this movie? Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, Batman. We watched Batman this Christmas. I was like, this is good. Why didn't I watch this earlier?
Well, because you were butthurt about the casting. That's
a little bit. I wouldn't say that's why I didn't watch it though.
So here's the thing. A movie came out that I was very interested in. I was very excited about. And didn't get around to watching it for the longest time. But when I did, I mean, it wasn't... It was good, but it just wasn't the film that I think I was expecting. But maybe that ties into this. So the movie's called Yesterday. And it was a sort of a take on it was like a Beatles themed movie, right? So basically,
yes, I did. I have seen that. Okay.
So this guy, he's like a musician. He's like he plays in clubs and bars and whatever. But, his life's kind of going nowhere. He's
good musician, but it's his
he's got no luck with love, and he whatever. And then something happens. I can't remember. He gets like hit by a bus or something happens.
An accident occurs.
And when he wakes up, nobody in the world, everything's the same, except nobody in the world remembers the Beatles.
Well, the Beatles, the band never existed.
Never existed. Nobody has any idea who the Beatles are, except for him. And so what he does is he starts playing and releasing and performing Beatles songs and like pretending that they're his, even to the point where, you know, someone's like, okay, let's, I think there's like at one point Ed Sheeran shows up in the movie.
Him and Ed Sheeran have like a song off. They
yeah,
come
you've
up
got
with
like
a song on
30
the spot.
minutes. Yeah, you've got like 30 minutes or 5 minutes or something to like write a song and then perform it. And Ed Sheeran does his best job at like a 5-minute song. And then our main character plays like Hey Jude or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and everyone's like,
pull this out of my back pocket.
You're a god. Like, how have you? Yeah. So anyways, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was excellent. I really enjoyed it.
But there's some controversy, and this controversy has led to some precedent. In the original trailers, when the first trailers came out for this movie, there were scenes in the trailers. You know, sometimes you'd be like watching trailers for a movie and it makes it look like said actor that appears in the trailer is like a really big part of this film because they show you like all of that actor's scenes in the trailer. And then you actually watch the movie and he ends up being in it for like 5 minutes. Like Anthony Hopkins in Mission Impossible 2. You watch the trailer for that and you think like, oh, Anthony Hopkins is like a really big deal in this film. And he's not. He's in it for like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, because he's a big actor, a big name.
Yeah. So they,
make an
they push it.
assumption.
So when the trailers came out for yesterday, the trailers made it appear like an actor named Ana de Armas, who many of us know and love, was a pretty big part of this film. Seemed like a potential love interest for our main character, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then the next trailers came out and Ana de Armas was still there. And then the next trailers came out and Ana de Armas was still there. And then the movie came out and Ana de Armas's scenes had been cut. Her whole story, like she was completely removed from the film. She wasn't in the movie anymore. And that can happen from time to time that, you know, a scene that you showed in the trailer, you got a little further in the editing process, especially nowadays. Nowadays, we have trailers coming out for movies 6, 7, 8 months before the movie drops. Yeah. Which is far too far in advance, in my opinion. But quite often we have trailers coming out while the film is still shooting. They haven't even shot everything yet. They certainly haven't edited it. And they certainly don't have the final cut of the film.
Yeah, well, so sometimes reshoots have become really popular, and
so sometimes they show a scene in a trailer, and then the scene's not in the movie, or the scene is in the. This happens all the time. The scene's in the movie, but it's a different take, right? So like the punchline is a little different than what you remember from the trailer, or you know whatever it may be. But it's a little bit different when a character is cut from the film who your trailer made seem was a very big deal in the film, right? Not just like, oh, had a scene and got cut. Was like, oh, this is a film starring Ana de Armas. Oh, wait, Ana de Armas isn't in this movie. I just watched it and she wasn't in it. And I bought tickets because she was in it.
Right.
Now, the plot thickens. To this day, the trailers for this movie that are like promoting it, I mean, the movie's been out for a while now. You can watch it on streaming. But the streaming trailers for this movie, you know, like they'll release trailers like, oh, watch it on streaming.
Yeah, the preview.
Ana de Armas is still in the freaking trailer. The movie's been out for 3 years, 4 years. And this character who they put in the trailer because she's a big deal and she's a draw and people are going to go see it because they like her. But she's not in the film and she's still in the trailer. Well, a couple of fans were really upset about this because they were big Ana de Armas fans.
Yeah, those ADA fans, man, they're crazy.
Yeah, and they said, we're going to sue the studio. We're going to sue the studio because that was false advertising. They told us that this character, this actress was in this movie. She's not in the movie. We're very upset and we were lied to and we're going to sue. And I think the majority of people who heard this kind of scoffed and went, huh, yeah, okay. Have fun with that, American. You're just going to sue everybody. Well, there has now been that they haven't successfully sued the studio, but there has been a court hearing, a court ruling that studios can be sued over false advertising in trailers as a result of this situation.
Yeah. What was it? What show was that? What movie trailer was that we got talked about earlier?
Yesterday.
Last month we talked about it.
What?
I don't know. Was it yesterday? We talked about something like this one of the last news cycles.
No, I sent you a link to it.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, we Facebooked.
Oh, we talked about it. Yeah, through the Facebook. Yeah. Okay. Right.
And so that's because of this movie and this situation. And so now, basically what this ruling has said is that these fans that want to sue the studio over yesterday can go ahead and sue the studio over yesterday. And that doesn't mean they're going to win, but because of this ruling, I think they might. Now, this calls into question a bunch of things. You started talking about it through Messenger. I started talking about it. And it's like, okay, well, what then? Like now movie trailers kind of sort of start to feel like treacherous waters. Like,
yeah,
what can a studio be sued over and what can't they?
I think the thing I brought up was like, well, can Marvel Disney be sued for Endgame for not having the Hulk show up? Because in the trailers,
not just
the big
Endgame.
charge scene, the Hulk is side by side with Captain America and Big Green Hulk, and Big Green Hulk doesn't show up.
Not just Endgame, but No Way Home.
Yeah.
How many scenes were Toby and Andrew edited out of in that trailer?
Yeah. I didn't want to see them. What the hell? Come on.
I'll tell you what. You go sue Marvel and tell me how that works out for you. I'm guessing. Here's the thing.
Hated when they showed up. This is just ruined the whole movie.
Yeah. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, now some dummies are going to be like, "Well, I'm going to sue Marvel. I'm going to sue Disney," and I'm going to sit there and go, "Okay, here's a question. Who do you think has better lawyers, you
or a studio?"
Disney? Have fun with that.
Not just Disney, any studio.
any studio. Even like Bupkis Studio that you don't even like, Twisted Pictures or Blumhouse or whatever, So here's the thing. Yeah, you started talking and you brought up but trailers are an art form.
Yeah.
Right? And that was an argument in this hearing. And yes, there is an art form to putting together trailers. That was acknowledged. However, at its core, a movie trailer is a commercial product. It is an advertisement for a product that this company wants you to buy into. They want you to spend your money to go see it. And a trailer's purpose is to provide you, the viewer, with an accurate sample of what this product is so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to go see it. So, what does this mean moving forward? Well, okay, some things are going to be excused, are going to be exempt from this new ruling. Like, you have to remember this Ana de Armas situation is different than just about any example that's out there, right? So take your Endgame thing or Infinity War. We'll talk about Infinity War, right? So one of the things that in Infinity War, you see a shot in the trailer of all the Avengers running forward and Hulk is there in full hulking form and he's like ready to wreak havoc. Well, then, of course, we watch Infinity War, and Bruce is having performance issues. Like he can't get the Hulk.
He can't get big.
Yeah,
can't get his bulk on.
But here's the thing: in that situation, that scene still happens. Bruce Banner And periodically, sort of, kind of, Hulk is still in the film.
Yeah.
He's in the beginning of the film. That scene happens. Hulk's there. It doesn't happen quite the way it appears in the trailer.
Bruce Banner is there. The Hulk is not.
Yeah. The Endgame thing and the No Way Home thing, that's a studio saying, hey, we have some surprises and secrets in this film that we don't want you to know about yet. We want you to be surprised when you see this.
It'd be like, it's like Empire Strikes Back hiding that Luke and Darth Vader are related. Exactly.
Nobody over at the Yesterday studio said, we want the audience to be surprised when it turns out that Anna de Armas is not in this film. Yeah, we really want them to be shocked. So I think things being put in there for the sake of keeping secrets, things being removed or not shown, right? You can't get mad at a movie trailer for not showing you something. But when they show you something that isn't there, and maybe not even a scene, that there could be some gray area there. I think it's when you take an actor or an actress and you put them in your trailer in a big significant way, and you use them because you know that they're potentially a box office draw, then they're not in the film, which again happens. Storylines get cut and stuff like that. I think probably when they put that first trailer together, they had every intention of she was going to be in this film.
Yeah, but she probably still got her full paycheck for all of this, I would imagine.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely she would. She would have been under contract.
She's not hurting.
Nope.
They essentially they've paid her for her star power and they're utilizing it.
Yeah. But then you made the decision to cut her from her scenes from the film, deleted her scenes, and then continued to release trailers that still showed her as a prominent part of this film.
Yeah, so you're getting into a gray area now.
That's where it gets into that false advertising area. Now, moving forward, I was reading online and getting other people's opinions and stuff like that, and someone speculated that what you may see moving forward, that movie trailers themselves may not actually change all that much. And that this might simply just be cleared up by, at the very end of a trailer, across the bottom of the screen, in very small, hard to read, almost not even there text. There's a little disclaimer that says, all scenes and characters in this trailer are not necessarily in the final, whatever it is.
This trailer is not conducive to what the final film is.
Exactly. Right? Which maybe clears everything up.
So you could be watching a trailer for this amazing Christmas story. It's all like the Grinch. And then as you watch it, it turns into something like you're actually watching the film, and the film is Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now they can do anything because there's a disclaimer.
Another great example was War for the Planet of the Apes. If you look at all of the marketing, the posters, the trailers, the blah blah blah, it was, we're going to see the war. We're going to see this massive war between apes and humans, and we're going to see the earth devastated, and we're going to see all this, blah blah blah. Never happens. Never happens in the film. Yeah. In the film, they spend the majority of their time in prison trying to break out of these cages. And then at the very end,
it's more of a battle for the Planet of the Apes.
There's a little bit of a battle, but then before
skirmish for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, before any sort of war can break out, an avalanche happens and buries all the humans in snow. And that's it. But if you watch the trailers for it, there's scenes in the trailer that aren't in the movie. There's all kinds of, it really makes it feel like, okay, here's the war. This is what we've been building to for 3 films now. So I don't know. Either way, you hear this. What are your thoughts? Is this ridiculous? Does this make sense? Do they have a leg to stand on? Should they be suing? And what does this mean for marketing campaigns moving forward?
I just think it's funny. It's kind of like the we talked about earlier, fans petitioning to save a franchise or an actor from leaving or bring an actor back. you're not changing anything. you're not really. There's little to no hope for you here in what you're trying to accomplish.
Do you think they'll win the lawsuit?
No. I mean, even if they do, it's not going to change anything.
No.
Like exactly what you said is going to happen. They're not going to spend the time to go through all those trailers and cut and edit them so that they still work and now she's not in those trailers. They're just going to slap a disclaimer at the beginning or the end. Because it's way quicker, way easier, and financially makes more sense.
And here's the other thing. Trailers, people don't realize this. Trailers are 90% of the time not made in-house at the studio, right? There are companies, trailer houses, that you hire and you send them footage.
They're not houses, Brady. They're trailers.
and you tell them, like, this is what we want our trailer to convey. This is, these are the things that you're not allowed to show. These are the things we want you to show. These are, blah, blah, blah. And the company puts together this trailer. Now, they send the trailer back to the director and like, it's not like when the trailer comes out on YouTube, the director sees it for the first time and goes, "Oh, holy shit, that's like,
yeah." There's some creative input there.
Yeah, absolutely. They get it back. They have to approve it or reject it or request changes or whatever it is. But yeah, what a sticky mess. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes moving forward.
Oh, I don't think it's. I think, like you said, and like I repeated, it's not going to change anything.
No. Anyways, that's it.
Yeah. That's it. That's all.
That's all the news.
Excellent.
I mean, there's more news in the last two, but who cares?
We don't care.
Who gives a shit? Not me. Not you.
Not the listener, or else they wouldn't have listened this long.
Yeah. Well, they didn't, but it's just you and me now. Thank you for listening.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm not going to listen to this.
Oh.
Thanks for the conversation.
Then my mom. I'm probably just talking to my mom. And Pete. Pete's probably listened this far.
Do you think? Do you think he listens to the news? I know he's listened to some of the other ones.
He's listened to some of the news, yeah.
Does he? You think? Yeah.
Well, he has 2 kids, right? I think any opportunity to go sit in the car, in the garage, put on a podcast and cry a bit is...
yeah. Pete, if that's what you do, don't turn the car on, because that's not healthy. At least open the garage door if you do.
Accessory mode. Accessory mode.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for listening so much. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, merch. That's pretty much it. In the description section of wherever you're listening to this episode. Yeah, it's a great way to stay on top of all sorts of fun stuff, like voting on what movie Pete and I are going to review next, getting some fun Patreon exclusives. There's in the last 2 weeks, there's a exclusive Movie Man Christmas episode up on our Patreon. So you can only listen to it if you're supporting us on Patreon. And I've had a couple of drinks during it. There's just a little bit of a disclaimer there. So it's, I don't know if it comes across. Like, I think I do a pretty good job of like not slurring my words.
Of hiding it.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much. And until next week when we do the news and we do episode 1 of the Bad Batch season 2.
Exciting.
It's a Star Wars show about wars.
That'll be our first animated show.
Yeah. Well,
no. Never mind. I misspoke.
Why? What did we do?
We did the Tales of Jedi.
I have no recollection of that.
That's too bad. It was good.
In parts, yes, parts.
Are you going to be all caught up for it?
Half of it was good. Listen. I don't know.
You've been working your way through
it's down to the wire. I was making wicked progress. And then 2 things happened. Christmas happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch any for like a week and a half.
Ew.
And then I got really into a video game. I've been playing like 4 or 5 hours a night of this game, and so it's been rough. But yeah, I think so. I think
Just put it on
because
your
all I
phone in the
really need to watch,
background.
I've seen the Bad Batch season 1,
Okay.
and I've been working through the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
and I'm about a quarter of the way through season 4. So I'd have to finish season 4, 5, 6, and 7, which 6 and 7 is really only like one season because they're only like 12 episodes each.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try, but
you've seen Bad Batch 1. You don't
I've seen Bad
necessarily
Batch
have
1.
to see all of Clone Wars to jump in Bad Batch. So,
and if the deadline is approaching and it looks like I'm in trouble and I'm not going to make it, then just go on without me. No, then Disney Plus has got this. Then Disney Plus has got this great section under the Star Wars thing where it's like 15 episodes that they've dubbed the essential Clone Wars episodes. So I could at least watch those and get like, okay, here's the
I can imagine that most of those are in the last 3 seasons.
There's a lot of it is, it's like 1 or 2 episodes per season for the first little bit, and then it's like, quite a bit in the last little while.
It's like
so.
season, half of the last season is like, I would say, essential.
Yeah. So one way or another, I'll be good to go.